Books presents a Griot audio production of Connecting by Adrienne Bellamy. This unabridged recording is narrated by C.C. Aisha Johnson and directed by Jeff Barron. Griot Audio celebrates the best in contemporary African American fiction and nonfiction. This book is copyrighted 2005 by Adrienne Bellamy. This recording is copyrighted 2005 by Recorded Books, producer and publisher of Griot Audio. Sheila has finally gotten her nursing degree. Emily and Jared are back together, for now at least. And 17-year-old Amber is on the verge of womanhood, looking forward to the future. There are plenty of reasons for the women of this Philly neighborhood to celebrate, especially as they conquer new worlds by moving out to the suburbs. But life always has new surprises and problems waiting around every corner. And now, Connecting.
Chapter 1. Paula. The early 1990s. He was panting like a maniac, and she was tired of waiting for him to come. Finally, he blurted out those words, those corny words. "I am the king. I'm Mr. Whopper. I'm the electric man, and I light them up." Same speech each time. Pitiful. Then he was silent. Thank God it was over. She just shook her head. His dick wasn't as big as a cigarette she was smoking, and it reminded her of a Newport because it got smaller and smaller each time she experienced him. She smoked and stared at him as he got dressed. They really could have done better with the uniforms. They were so drab and ordinary. When he finished dressing, he reached up to the shelf stacked with clean laundry. He retrieved a brown paper bag and threw it at her. "Nice job, here's your reward," he said. Paula checked out the contents of the pouch: a hoagie, a pack of cigarettes, and a can of beer. "You better hurry and get yourself dressed so I can walk you back to your cell." She looked at him, rolled her eyes, and got dressed. Jesus, she had to fuck him 3 times a week for that one sack. She'd been in over 2 years now and had a weekly clientele of 3 guards. This was Berman. Berman was a redneck from West Virginia. He was a closet black woman freak. As the 2 of them walked back to her cell, she had to listen to him brag about how smart his wife was and how much money she made. His thick Southern accent was enough to make her vomit. When Paula got back to her cell, she sat on her bed and pulled out the hoagie and the can of beer. "Hey, Josie," she said to her cellmate, "do you want half my hoagie or a swig of beer?" "No, thanks," Josie replied. Paula sat there munching on the hoagie and gulping down the beer, thinking about Amber, Horace, and that bitch Emily, who were the cause of her being in jail. She wished Emily had died when she crashed that statuette into her head 3 years ago. Amber, who always caused nothing but problems, had now managed to get out from under her grandmother Fanny, ending the county checks that Grandma could have been collecting. Had she been with Grandma, Fanny would have sent part of the money to Paula, who was sitting in jail because of the 3 assholes, Horace, Emily, and Amber. I should have hit Amber in the head too, Paula thought. Horace was the father of Paula's youngest of 3 daughters, Renee. He and Grandma separately had brought her 3 children to see her 9 times since she'd been there. Paula couldn't stand the sight of Amber. Sydney just cried when she saw her, and Renee acted like she didn't know who she was. So Paula told them all to stay home for the rest of their lives. Paula was having a pretty rough time dealing with prison life. She had to learn how to deal. She had to give sex for favors on a regular basis. The 3 guards she was playing hostess to were not only taking full advantage of the situation, they were wearing her out. Jake was a real tyrant. He was a big guy who reminded her of Paul Bunyan size-wise. He had a shaven head with gorgeous green eyes like a cat's. Jake was a stone freak. He was an Aries, and Aries men are truly perverted. They like all kinds of crazy sex. Jake liked ice. Yep, he liked his stuff on the rocks. His spot for having sex with her was in the kitchen. He would get one of those giant silver salad bowls. The prison housed 1,600, and the bowls were humongous. He would have her fill the bowl up with ice and sit in it. Jake wanted her ass frozen when he came through. He'd make her take everything off late at night and sit in that ice until she couldn't stand it. He'd start getting his private parts ready for the ordeal while she was freezing everything up for him. Then he'd make her get out and
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.